All right. This is video 11, and we're going to be talking about how to actually scale, okay? What's the process behind of it, what you need to know in order to not make mistakes that can possibly turn your winning campaign into a losing campaign, etc., etc. Okay, so we're here in our training campaign that I've been showing you all the time right here, and here is the monitoring sheet on the right side. Okay, so what you're gonna do is once you see a profitable campaign, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna start scaling after having looked at all the parameters as I told you in the earlier videos. Okay, so you're gonna go in and increase this budget there. Okay, so there are two ways of scaling. There's the safe and slow and steady way, and there's the more risky and kind of a big operator type of scaling, okay, which is more of a little bit of more of a confident one. It is when you want to go big fast because you really have a very clear winner, okay? Clear winner by all standards, and by all standards I've shown you. So the slow and steady way is just doubling your budget one day at a time. So first day you double up to 40 or 50 bucks, which is what I do. I normally do 50 right away. Then this third day I do to 100, then the fourth day to 250, then the fifth day to 500, and the sixth day to 1,000. And even if there's a seventh, then you can go to 2,000. But at this time, most of the times, unless you have a really big audience that is over 1 million, Facebook is not going to spend all your budget. Okay, so you really want to see, it depends on how big of an audience you have. Over 100,000, you can really get up to the $1,000 level a day, and still it will reach people, new people, and you can still make it happen. Under that, most of the times, the most I've been scaling up is like $500 a day, okay, for under 100,000 people. Now, you gotta know, you gotta realize that scaling involves more of an ad spend, so you gotta be in profit always in order for you not to lose any money. Okay, so you gotta keep monitoring the more you increase your budget and the farther you go into the scaling process. As I said in the campaign setup as well, you gotta make sure that you have at least 7 days in your campaign. Okay, that's why we like to go more for 9 or 10, because that gives you a room for split testing and room for adapting and room for scaling. Even more importantly, when you have a winner, you can always extend campaigns through Teespring support, but you really want to set that by default in the first place and add your VA to it, and you'll see that in the bonus video on how to outsource, and really the videos, training videos for outsourcing, because your VA should be setting this up as part of the system. 9 to 10 days, above 7 days. Okay, then the more risky way is really when I have a clear winner by all standards, like this click rate is huge, over 8%. I see there's getting a lot of website clicks, very cheap post engagements, and cost per post engagements, and I see that the frequency is not over 1.1, which is something I'm going to talk about now. If you do that, then you can, I have done this already, it's going from 20 up to 100 directly, and then from there, once I see it still keeps on profiting, I go right away to 200 or even 500 sometimes. It really depends if the winner has shown itself and revealed itself to you clearly, okay, as by the standards shown in the earlier videos. Now, here's the thing. Once you have a winning design and that you're scaling up, and as I said in the one of the first videos, it's going to be a replicable and scalable design, and therefore it means if you have one winner, it means this is something you can replicate into multiple niches. Therefore, you can win multiple times with the same effort, pretty much, and pretty much no extra effort, because your designer just has to adapt it to the new niche. You just have to adapt the targeting, and that's it. And it's all pretty much the same, okay? It's a system. Then it really becomes an oiled machine where your VA just gonna start putting out the new, bringing out and setting up the new campaigns with the new designs from your designer, and you're gonna just launch the ads one after the other with the same exact layout and everything, just kind of because you're just scaling up. So it really allows you to get way more results and make way more money with just one idea. Okay, so this is why this entire recipe is based around proven, scalable, and replicable designs. Now, this is why, because you want to choose a winning one time and then win easily over 20 times again. Now, at some point of your campaign, when you're monitoring, you're gonna see the frequency go up, okay? And before I do that, let me tell you something, just how I keep track of this. It's like this, okay? So let's say I already scaled up, let's say $20, and I'm now about to scale. I said scaled 50, and at the next day I'm gonna monitor again. But here the stats still show the last update, and this is why I have these little fields right here: last update for profit, last update for ad cost, last update for sales. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take and copy this, just copy it and paste special values only, okay? Just special values only, so that it doesn't grab the color and the formulas. Just wanted the value, okay? Then you do the same thing for the ad cost, and you paste it in here as well. Paste special values only. And the same thing with the sales. Why we do this, sorry about that, that was not what I wanted to do. Right there, we're gonna copy, and then we're gonna paste this one, specially, space special and values only as well. I'm gonna do this real quick just to center this, all centered. And why we do this is because this way you have a clear overlook on all the campaigns, and really this is where your organization is crucial. And this is why please follow this, because once you have 30 active campaigns or 80, you're not going to be able to monitor them correctly if you don't do this, okay? You got to know your last decision, and this is why I always note down my last decision, or like what's going on over here. And I also note the audience, so I know how much I can scale up. But this part right here is freaking critical, okay? It's critical. Now listen carefully. What you do is you copy that last updates of the last updated fields over here, and now you update again. Let's say I scale to 50. At the next day I look at the campaign again at night or in the morning, and I'm updating it, as I told you, morning or night. Yeah, I'm updating it, and I say, okay, first thing I do is I go through all the t-shirts from the Teespring dashboard, as I said, and I update the sales first of all, okay? I sales right here, and I say, let's say after scaling to 60, I got 6 sales over here, and on this one, after decision at 40, because it was doing pretty good in engagement but didn't have the sales, I thought I was going to go to a 40. So let's say then at this time it got 4 sales, and now it's kind of winning. So then once you do the sales, immediately you have a bigger profit, but now it still needs to be, the ad cost still needs to be updated. So right here, let's say we did almost like I'm updating in the middle of like almost before 12 o'clock, so it hasn't spent all of it. $20 have been spent, now it's 50, so I'm going to say it's now at 65, okay? So there's still a profit. And let's say this one, decision at 40, actually spent already 38, okay? Let's see that. So in this case, I can see immediately what has changed from the last update to the new one, okay? So right here I see that there was an increase, and therefore I changed this to green right there. No, not that one, not that green, the blue. Okay, so then I see what happened here, and I leave it in green because there is still an increase in profit, okay? And this is what you do. This way you know what happened. As I told you in the earlier videos, and I said I'm going to be explaining this in this one, let's say this one had a $9 profit, but then didn't get a lot of sales, got like 3 or let's say 4, and now it's in negative. So at this point I turn it red. And I really note down here, I make it yellow because there is something happening and I do have to make a decision. Now this one goes back to blue. That one is now profiting, for example, and I'm going to say scale to 50. Okay, I'm going to say scaled 50, and I'm going to go into the ad set right here, and I'm going to do for the surfer one that is now profiting. I'm going to go and add a $50 budget to that one and say, okay, now this one is being scaled. I'm going to update the budget, and that's it. Now in regards to this one, let's say now it started dropping. What happened? I'm going to go again into the ads, and I'm going to look at what is going on with scale, what's going on with okay, I did a mistake here. I just put a surfer on 50 just for example, because this was the surfer one, and let's say surfer should be on $50. This one, just to keep it kind of really congruent as what we were saying. The first one was training, no, the first one was skater, and the other one was surfer. So this one would be at 50, and this one was already at 50, okay, as we said, scaled 50, but now it's in loss. Okay, so because it's in loss, I'm gonna look at the ads, and I'm gonna do what I did earlier in the video. I'm gonna look at all the stats and parameters and see what is going on. Now here's one thing that you gotta realize. At some point of your campaigns, you're gonna be scaling, and the frequency is gonna go up. Okay, so let's say surfer is doing good now. Say skater had a little audience of like 20,000 people instead of the 500 I noted down here, 20,000, and it might have gone already through like 10,000 people or a little bit less, and this time the frequency is going to start going up. It's going to start going up from 1.0, which is it served the ad to each person just one time. It's going to start going up to about 1.2, 1.1. At this point, that might be the reason why your ads are not working anymore. It's because it's reaching all the audience Facebook is serving the ad to. Now, the more you scale, the bigger your budget, and the better your ad is performing, the more Facebook is going to show your ad to the entire audience without increasing the frequency. If your ad is not performing that well and your budget is always at $20, it's going to, like, let's say if this is an audience of 240,000, it's going to end up serving the ad just to about 50,000, and the frequency is going to start going up. It's something I've seen Facebook do a lot in my campaigns. So I learned that when you scale up big to 200, 500 bucks, and your ad is still performing well, you can reach way more of an audience than if you leave it on a low budget. Okay, so that's a really important point. Make sure you note that down. And so what I was saying is, let's see why this one is losing. I might go in there and see that the click rate really dropped, or I go into the comments, look at the engagement. There might be some negative comments that are discouraging people from buying, or the frequency might be going up. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. A winning design that turns into a losing one might only be because of that. Either the click rate, just people are seeing the same ad again due to some Facebook reason. The click rate is going down, people are not resonating with it anymore due to a bad comment, or just because of the universe wanted it so, or something. And then the other reason is because it might happen that people buy one, like somebody bought 2 t-shirts or 3 t-shirts at a time, at one time, but at what time, but then all other people are not. So you might see those first 4 sales might have been just one person. And what you can do is you can go into the analytics right there, and the analytics of Teespring, and you can see inside the analytics there is the conversion rate right there, and then there's also, and this is actually one of my other accounts on Teespring, so you can see there's the conversion rate, so you can see it, look at the conversion rate and see at one specific day the conversion rate today might have been very low. So right here you can see it's 0. So there is a time where people are not buying, just like in this example, okay? They're not buying for all they bought for the first 2 hours or something, and then they didn't buy. Now you got to look at the times as well. This might have been because there have been views coming in, but this is from 0 to 6, it's almost like 2 a.m. to 7 a.m., which is night time. So it might have been due to that, okay? So the views were coming in virally, not due to Facebook, from the Facebook ads. As I said, Facebook optimizes your ads during the night because it's not targeting your or your audience is not active, and that's why there are not sales not coming in. So you got to look at the conversion rate, and you also got to look at how many clicks you've been getting during that time. So if you haven't been getting any clicks, that might be the reason why you're not getting any sales, okay? Then the conversion rate is very low. It might have been because the conversion is dropping and people are not buying anymore for some sort of reason. You gotta find that out in the comments, or it was just a luck strike that you had the first sales, and that might happen. That tends to happen many times, where somebody, when you scroll down here, you see that somebody did an order. Right here you can see the orders placed, total order count, and how many shirts were ordered. If you see one order and it's like 4 total shirts, it means one person ordered that. So it means it might just be that person that was all fanatic about it, but then the rest are not really that fanatic anymore. So it was a kind of a luck strike that that person bought 4 instead of just 1 as is the normal average, okay? So you gotta make sure you look at that, and so realize that an ad a campaign might turn into a losing campaign due to that, due to conversion rate dropping, due to negative comments, or because it was a luck strike that somebody ordered like 4 and it looked like it was awesome and very profitable, and you scaled up, and then the reality struck, and you see that people are not actually ordering that good, and it was just one person. So make sure you look at that part. Now, in regards to the frequency, what I wanted to tell you about is this is one of my real special tricks, and I'm going to put this into the next video because it deserves its own video, and it's something you've never seen. Most likely you've never been taught by anyone, and I'll show you that in the next video. See you over there. Bye bye.